In one of our last videos, we showed you our neighbour José's property, which is for sale. And today we're going to show you another property, which is behind us. So a little bit of orientation. This is us right here. José's property is next to us right there. And then directly behind us, there is the other property we're talking about today. Come on over. Pick up. This way. Look at that, what a magical view that is today. Straight out of Lord of the Rings or something. Just to say up front that this property is being sold through an agency. We're nothing to do with the agency, so we will simply put a link to this property on the agent's website in the description. Close to the entrance is this potentially beautiful house. As you can see, it's in pretty good condition. The walls are dead straight, but of course everything needs to be done to make it a livable home. The walls need pointing, the roof needs replacing, doors, windows, blah blah. And let's have a little walk around the house. As you can see, two doors, which is nice. It is actually split inside as well, that's why there are two doors. Coming around the side, we do have a window which could easily be cut. This stone could be cut to make another door, actually, if you wanted to do that. Coming around the back, again, you can see how straight these walls are. Really nice. If they were pointed up, they'd look fantastic. Shall I measure the house?
Yes.
My super accurate walking measurement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I make that 10 meters. And that's about 6 with another window. If you did want to make another door here, for instance, this part of the stone is just one layer thick as opposed to the rest of the walls, so it would be very easy to take out. Hello? Somebody'd answer that in this case.
Yeah. Inside the house you can see it is just an empty shell at the moment. If you never renovated a house, you can watch our video of the transformation of my house to get an idea what it can become. My house looked exactly like this, it is just smaller. Although the eucalyptus beams are not in bad condition, you don't need to be romantic about this. The whole roof needs replacing. Walls, windows, floor, doors, it all needs to be done. So the land that goes with this house is about 3 hectares large, and there are 5 terraces sloping down to a winter river or winter stream that dries up again in the summer. But as you have maybe seen in our last video about the heavy rainfall we had the last weeks, the bottom terrace got completely flooded, which can happen with unusually heavy rain. Because of this natural low point, it leaves this part of the land green and grassy for much longer than the rest of the farm.
We've asked in the village the history of this place. Nobody seems to know very much, really. The house was built, though nobody ever lived in it. The land was just used to graze some animals. There's obviously never really been looked after or tended. There are a few olive trees, a couple of fruit trees, but they're all in bad condition because the land has never actually been farmed and looked after properly, even though it's terraced. We think it's a real pity that there's nobody here farming this land, living on this land, because you can see the house has such potential to be something really nice, and so does the land. It just needs looking after.
Can you get me one?
There you go.
Is it soft?
It is actually. This is an example of the sort of tree that's on this land. You can see it's never been looked after, never been pruned. Still gives a lot of fruit. It's persimmon, I think, or kaki. And they're fine if you like them. I don't, but Katya does. We're at the bottom of the land now. The stream runs just there by those orange trees. This area was actually all flooded a couple of days ago. If you look at the flooding video, you'll see how this was all running with water. This is actually the bottom of the bottom terrace. There are two wells down here. We'll show you them. Whoa. Here's the first one. Covered in duckweed. And the second one is just down here.
Yeah, some rubbish is also here, sadly.
Here's the second one, even lower down, which means it's higher water. This pillar thing was part of an old water extraction device. It would simply have had a big lever on it with a bucket going down into the well, and then you'd turn the bucket around and drop it into wherever you're going to drop it. This looks like it was possibly used as an animal stable at one point. Can't really tell.
Pile of stones now.
We won't bother trying to show you all the land. We're not actually sure where the border is. It's something like another 100 meters in that direction. But it's all pretty much like this. Lots of grass, a few trees dotted around, as you can see.
But this little place I wanted to show you, I find it really magical. It's not super special, but I like it. It's one of my favorite mushroom finding places as well. And I come here sometimes with the doggies for walks.
Can you hear the waterfall now? You can actually just see it through there.
Nah, it's too small.
These beautiful rocky hills are just the other side of the stream. In summer I look at them and think, if this was Africa, there'd be a leopard basking on the warm rocks there. What we do have on this land, loads of lavender, as you can see, which is fantastic in the spring. Another really good thing you do have on this land, you can see behind me, these really big, beautiful cork oaks, which will provide some cork for harvesting every 9 years, I think. A little bit of cash. Regarding the cork oak, they put a number on the tree indicating the last number of the year when they're next going to harvest it.
No, when it was harvested.
No, when they're next going to harvest it.
No. They harvested this one in 2015 and they
No.
draw the 5.
I think they're going to take it in 25.
9. Why would they make the calculation? They write the date.
No, that's the date when they're going to take it. With regards to the cork, when they take the bark, they write on the tree the last digit of the year they've taken it, which is wrong. However, don't get your hopes up. You're not going to be an overnight millionaire in 2025.
Robin.
However, don't get your hopes up. You're not going to be an overnight millionaire with your cork. The trees we have on our farm, which are probably a bit less than is on this property, we got €300. Again, since we're not involved in the sale in any way, we can be honest about the pros and cons of this bit of land. The pros are it's ready for development, basically. Lots of open land. You can do what you like with it. If you wanted to start some kind of new project, new orchard, lots of potential here. That's also a con in a way, because it means you do have to start from pretty much scratch here to start anything going, as opposed to the previous property we showed you, old José's farm, which is very much self-contained, all planted up, cared for and ready to go. This is the opposite. So for some people that might be a drawback. For other people with different ideas in mind, that could be a real big plus point. The fact that it's so open and larger with 3 hectares would also be a pro if you wanted to have animals, grazing animals. Another pro, of course, is the water. With the river down there, although it dries up in the summer, as I said, it stays very green down at the bottom there. The wells keep their water in as well. A big pro is this beautiful house just aching to be renovated, a good size to it, and it would make a lovely home. The cons, of course, are that you're not going to be able to just come here and immediately start picking fruit from trees, because there's very little of that. You're going to have to actually start a vegetable garden, start an orchard. That might be what you want to do. Possibly the biggest drawback, being completely honest about the place, is that over there, sitting here, I can't actually see it, but just over there, just over the hill, is we're not quite sure what it is. We think it's a gravel making plant.
It's a cement factory.
Somebody told us it was a cement factory. Somebody told us it was not. So we don't know. They don't make a tremendous amount of noise, but you are a little bit exposed to it here, or at least a bit more exposed to it than we are on Katinka. But really, they make a little bit of a humming sound for about an hour in the morning when they're working, but they're not always working. They certainly don't work at weekends. There may be the occasional few days where they make a little bit more noise than usual, but that hasn't happened very often. But something to bear in mind, if you want a super quiet, remote place then this probably isn't it. One other consideration would be that the winter sun is quite low, of course. It basically rises over there and sets over there. And there are a lot of trees around. So you wouldn't get a sunny terrace in the winter.
In the shortest winter days, this is about all the sun you can expect on the house. What you see now is around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun is just coming through behind the forest. In summer the sun is higher and then it's a different story.